Greetings and salutations, Focus Up family. Welcome to the January 31, 2026 installment of the Focus Up Show. We thank you for tuning in with us live every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on YouTube and various other platforms, catching up with us on replay. And we ask that you click that like, that subscribe, that bell, and share to support and maintain your weekly Focus Up fix. I am Mr. Nice Guy, nice as in the word saint spelled backwards. And today, my co-hosts are Brother Student X, star of Mutant Politics and contributor to Objective Deconstruction. We got infamous El Pooh, star of Spin That Back, and we will have a Spin That Back today. Who we gonna talk about, infamous El Pooh?
We're gonna talk about CMW today.
Wait a second. I thought you said we were doing Nate Dogg.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
Let's rewind that back. It's live TV, but we'll do that over again. So we're gonna speak on Spin That Back. Who are we talking about today, infamous El Pooh?
We're gonna be talking about the great Nate Dogg, the hook king of the 90s. That's what's
up. And Mr. Floyd X, the boss man. What's going on with you, sir? Star of Street Focus.
We gotta get another show going. There's so much to talk about. My brain is going in overdrive trying to research all this BS, this Nicki Minaj, this Melania Trump. Oh my God, man. Come on, we gotta get this stuff out of here to the people, man.
Oh man. So we're down a few soldiers today. We don't have Brother Walk, he's taking care of some business. And Alpha Agnostics is under the weather, so get well soon, brother. We're missing our sisters, First Lady J, AB. Pop in when you can, sisters. But what's going on with you, Mr. Student X, live from the dojo?
Man, chilling, brothers. Just excited to be here with you guys again here today, and ready to go ahead and rock the mic.
That's what's up. Infamous El Pooh, what it do?
Well, still holding on. Blessed and happy to be here once again and ready to go.
That's what's up. Boss man, what's going on? What's going up there in Northern California?
Hey, they was out here protesting yesterday. I wish I would have known. I would have been out there with them, but there was the no school, no attending school stuff. I didn't know nothing about it till my wife told me yesterday.
My wife was talking about that yesterday too. Yeah, I know too much about it.
Okay.
All right, so that having been said, let's get to the get. First thing up, rest in peace to Grady Demond Wilson. Now, his first name is Grady, but he played Lamont on Sanford and Son. So, but he's he passed away. Actually, I believe he passed away today in his home in Palm Springs, California. He passed away from complications due to cancer. So, that cancer thing, that's something we need to take care of. But this dude was a big part of my youth, and I'm assuming a big part of the rest of you guys' youth. Because Sanford and Son, that was definitely one of the biggest shows on TV. What you got to say about this, boss man? What you got to say about the show? And about
I love it when Sanford used to call you big dummy. You big dummy. So hopefully he'll be resting in that junkyard in heaven with Mr. Fred G.
and Elizabeth.
That's right.
I know you was watching this. I know you watched the show, Mr. Student X.
Oh, bro, you already know. Great show, and RIP to the brother, and condolences to his family.
That's what's up. El Pooh, anything in closing, sir?
Well, just rest in peace to the brother. He lived a long life. Best wishes to him, and condolences to his family.
That's what's up. And cancer, we got to do something about this. We don't have this as one of the articles, but I did read about some dude that actually had some type of a breakthrough for pancreatic cancer. He actually cured it in mice. So hopefully this is something that transfers over to human beings and relative soon.
That's the deadly one. That's a terminal.
Yeah, that's the one. So that's what I'm saying. That's like people should be singing this from the hills. When I saw it as a meme, I was thinking, this is probably not true because people are not talking about it. Yeah. I did some research on it, and that really did happen. So, like I said, hopefully we're on a breakthrough or something real big there because that's taking too many of us. That's what's up. Yep. So, and we have that. Rest in peace to that brother. And we also, this happened on the day of last show, but it happened after the show, so we didn't catch it. But we're gonna address it. Alex Pretti, I believe that's how you pronounce his name. This brother was assassinated by ICE, during a protest. And I mean, they've broken it down. They clearly removed the gun from the guy before they started shooting. You know what I'm saying? And this guy, he wasn't the gnome and whatever. They were saying that, oh, he went there with an aggression, with the intention to hurt a whole bunch of people. This dude was a nurse with a camera in his hand the entire time. You know what I'm saying? Literally,
they shot him 10 times. 10 times.
Without a weapon. His weapon was removed.
Crazy.
You know, so yeah, that's that BS. You know, it's like, look, if you make a mistake, just step up and own it. You know what I'm saying? But to sit there and cover up and insult us, we got the video. Our eyes tell us exactly what happened. So, I mean, you know, that's that BS. What you got to say about the El Poo? I'm going to go with you first.
Man, you know, they got a video of this dude about, what, a week and a half before that?
Yeah.
11 days.
Yeah, actually spitting and kicking on a truck from the ICE agents and everything. At first, people were saying it was AI because he had on like the same outfit and everything. But then they got the picture, well, the video from another angle also. So obviously it's a real picture. But he did all that stuff. They didn't do anything to him that time. They didn't kill him. It's like, what's the difference? It's crazy. Yeah. The whole point of it is, I think they had got instructions to escalate, and they probably just took that to account and said, hey, what I'm going to do is let's start shooting motherfuckers.
Since you're talking about conspiracy, let's go to our conspiracy expert. What you got to say about this, Mr. Student X?
I'm your Huckleberry. And let me tell you this, you know, soon you all will be conspiracy, you know, believers, because, you know, it doesn't take long for conspiracies to be proven real today. You know, the biggest takeaway on this event right here, I think that people should have, is that, you know, there is seemingly like a civil war brewing here in this country. You know, I think that is fair to say. And I think it is also, it borders on a few different levels, you know, because there's civil war to where you have civilians wanting to go attack other civilians because they don't like their political beliefs or their stances and their positions, you know, and then you have, I would say, you know, from my point of view, a more enlightened, you know, a group of individuals who are saying, look, our crosshairs shouldn't be on each other. You know what I mean? If anything, we should have our focus on the government, because a lot of our challenges that we're experiencing in our life, you know, if there ever was a group of people that needed to protest their government and be in the streets, it's the American citizens. You know, but because things are, you know, largely people are comfortable, you really don't see that level, you know, of activism. You know, the cancer you spoke of. You know, I mean, we could look at, you know, government decisions all across the board that has actually encouraged cancers. You know, this gentleman, you know, Pretti, you know, it's clear that regardless if he did that, you know, just before he got murdered, or if he did it, you know, a week before, you know, the bottom line is, you know, that gentleman did not deserve to be killed, you know, and it was outright cold-blooded murder. But we're watching your government try to tell you not to believe your own lying eyes. You see what I'm saying? You know, and you're seeing this on so much. It goes, like I said, it goes back to Candace Owens and this whole Charlie Kirk assassination. We could point to so many different situations, you know, is that people are realizing that, you know, what we're being told is not adding up on all different levels. September 11, you could go back and just pick a topic. And so we're reaching this boiling point right now, I believe, you know, to where if America does go to war against Iran right now, attack Iran again, which will be illegal, unprovoked, unrighteous, and unjust. If they do take that move, it will be, again, to take the heat and focus off of Trump, this administration, the fact that he looks like a puppet, a little Zionist puppet, you know, and his own base has largely turned against him. You have about 30% of the people who might still support Trump, you know, and that's a large number. You know, I think it's lower than that, you know, but yeah, you know, the takeaway here is that, you know, that we need to look at this from a much bigger perspective, you know, and that is that this government is going to, you know, more of some authoritarian type of rule, you know, right now. It's a transition taking place.
This ICE stuff is so bad that they released some more Epstein files.
Exactly. And guess what? They had Trump implicated all through it on levels we never seen before. And immediately, they redacted it, took it out. And so that's the big talk right now is that, this is the most I've seen a real, true evidence and focus, on Trump, misdeeds in regards to Epstein. We knew it could have been present and it would have made sense if it was, but, they totally took that out, the documents. And people are noticed that they're talking about it. And like I said, it's on so many different levels. You know what I mean? So, if the allegations are true, those that obviously DOJ and this administration is trying to cover up, if it's true, then we have a psychopath sitting up here inside the White House right now. I argue that they all are, personally. You know what I mean? Because even if they're not, then who controls them are. You know what I mean? But in this case, like I said, right now, World War III literally could be started within days. If America attacks Iran, because Iran, first of all, there's no punks, and there will be significant damage. We're going to see, the gas prices go up tremendously because they're going to hit the oil fields. Russia and China, I don't believe is going to stand by and watch Iran just get ganged up on by America and Israel. I don't believe that that's going to happen for 1 second. You know what I mean? So
hey,
let me stop talking.
Before you speak up, boss man, let's address this cat. This brother said, why care about ICE now when they've been doing this for over 10 years? They ain't been doing this. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to have some type of professionals. The people that they're recruiting, these people are not high trained. This is a different machination of ICE. So, and what's going on is different than what's going on before. We understand that Obama was the deporter in chief. He deported way more people than Trump did, but somehow he did it in a way more sensible way than this has been done. Here we go, brother. Afro agnostics. Finally, even conservatives and Trump supporters are starting to see the fascist tendencies in Trump. That's what's up. So, boss man, what you got to say about the situation with Mr. Pretti?
But I mean, like addressing what the guys say that they've been doing it for over 10 years, but it hasn't been in our face like this as far as people getting murdered and, in the streets, right in the streets, they're running up on people's houses and snatching people up, arresting journalists. This shit is looking real crazy right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right. And nothing like this ever. It's not even, the same iteration, you know what I mean? So it doesn't take much to look at, and compare to understand that.
And I think that Trump also sees that that it's not working out to his favor because it looks like he's backing off a little bit. It looks like he's not going to do this or do that, and hopefully he's trending in that direction, truthfully, and that we won't see it. But I want to address what the actor Pedro Pascal say because of being Renee Good and Alex Pretti. He said the walkout is a pretty good reason to have a national protest day. So salute to all those people that went out there protesting yesterday. I support it, and I wish I would have known about it. I would have been out there protesting also because it's very important to address this. I was driving downtown yesterday with the wife, and they had the streets blocked off because people was out there protesting. I'm like, oh, man, okay. So salute to the protesters.
That's what's up. So now pivoting, let's talk about some sports. Another RIP, a travesty. Let's give Walk. What do you think? Didn't we obliterate Iran's nuclear capability and they had no response? So you know what? Briefly, quickly, go ahead and address that, Student X, about what they actually did as far as eliminating their nuclear power.
Yeah, well, I mean, the reality of it is that those three areas that were hit, Israel had already hit before. Those are their most known facilities. Iran's a big place. They have plenty of other facilities all throughout. But Trump did say and promote the fact that it's been obliterated, and destroyed. But clearly there was a deal worked out because obviously Iran, did something for their people to shoot, a couple missiles that landed, in the wrong place or got shot down or whatnot. But, Iran and really Russia, and these other powers, they have been very patient with America, and when I say with America, it's not Americans like you and I. It is these politicians that's controlled by these Zionists and neocons inside our government in particular. They've been pushing the agenda and deploying, tactics that essentially have been ill impacting others, and others are saying that, hey, look, we're not gonna go too far to make this thing spiral out of control. Other people are being more responsible right now, and that's what you saw in Iran. That's what you saw, what you've been seeing from Russia, because they have the power to shut these things down, in an instant. But that's not what they're doing.
Let me say this. Let me say this. We gotta stop believing. It disgusts me when people believe what Trump says. Just because he said it, don't make it true. We obliterated their nuclear capabilities. Just because he said it doesn't mean it's true. It's a lie. He's a known liar. So stop repeating the lies like it's the truth.
Even I commit, is that I wasn't like the level of a liar that this dude is now. It wasn't the same the first time. He was still a liar. But the level now, I've never seen a president lie as much ever in the history of presidency. You know what I'm saying? As this dude on every level, no matter. He lies to everybody. He don't discriminate. He'll lie to his friends, the American people, the enemy. You know what I mean? It don't matter, man. He's just a liar, bro. Everything
to the mirror.
It should be looked at as everything.
Well, the man did say one time, he said, what you're seeing on the news and hearing is not really what's happening. So it's a book it's a page right out of Orwell's book, 1984. Don't believe in the government. Whatever the government tells you is happening is what's happening, according to them. So, like I said, let me put the picture back up again. You don't need this.
So, in lighter news, Bill Belichick was not inducted into the Hall of Fame on the first ballot. So, which to me, I think is an absolute outrage. You're talking about arguably the greatest NFL coach of all time. He's got 6 Super Bowl championships and like 2 Super Bowls as a defensive coordinator. I mean, and it wasn't like a necessarily a big conspiracy, because some people were talking about Spygate or talking about Inflategate and stuff like that. It's just that they give these people a certain amount of votes, and then they gotta pick and choose where they're gonna place them. And probably a lot of people felt like, he's gonna get in, so I don't need to give my vote to him, like whatever. And this basically exposed just how crappy the system is to even allow for this. But Student Next, what you got to say about Bill Belichick not getting in the Hall of Fame on the first ballot?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much just outright ridiculous. It is so Tom Brady's not going to get in the Hall of Fame on his first ballot. You know what I mean? Is that what's going to happen? You know what I mean? It's like, come on. So, but I mean, it just shows you, man, is that a lot of these organizations, even a lot of your jobs, is that they're like little clubs. You know what I mean? And then if you want to sing and dance and have everyone like you, play the game or whatnot, you know what I mean? Then you might be safer than others. You know what I mean? But if you buck the system a little bit, then they could buck right back. And this just illustrates. I think Kwame Brown. What was he call it? The go along to get on the go along to get along game or something. Yeah. That's what it is. That's what it is. You know what I mean? So Bill, Mr. Coach, great, arguably the greatest coach of all time, Belichick, he obviously, upset at some people, and this is outrageous and is making it apparent that sports are just becoming more and more fake. And I love watching sports, but football in particular, the gambling, that's entering into it. Remember last Boy Scout? That whole movie was based on how gambling just took over sports, and it was this downfall. You know what I mean? That's where we're headed to right now. And lastly, is I shared an image there. It was to the last point, and then also to this point right here, a little pop culture reference right here. You know what I mean? In regards to government. You know what I mean? For those that don't know, that's V. You know what I'm saying? So
that's a definitely old school reach right there. So you got something to say about this any further, Mr. Floyd X, infamous El Poo?
Nah, it's just, it's a shame. Bill Belichick should be in the Hall of Fame. Great coach, led them all in victories. Obvious.
Yeah, I blame Obama. I think Obama has something to do with it.
That's what's up. So, and not only is that some clown stuff, then we got Shedeur Sanders being basically getting to the Pro Bowl. So, your credibility was already taking a hit. Well, actually, that they happened in different order, but still, my point is that, this brother had a very tough, rookie season. You know what I'm saying? More interceptions than touchdowns. And, he got what? He went to like the 5th or 6th round pick type of situation. He was not even the 10th highest fan voting, QB, but somehow he gets selected. Now, I will say this, in his defense, a lot of people may have turned it down. A lot of people were injured. So, at this point, and then, it is going to be like, what is it, flag football?
Wasn't he a replacement because somebody couldn't make it or something?
Yeah, well, the Drake May was, who's going to the Super Bowl. So that's why they gave him his spot. But the thing about it is they go to alternate. There's alternates underneath that. And my point is that in fan voting, he wasn't even in the top 10. Mm-hmm. So, for a quarterback. So there's a whole bunch of people that should have been contacted before him. But in reality, they may very well have. At the end of the day, he's healthy. He's available. He is popular. You know what I'm saying? But, I have sort of like in tongue-cheek said, is Shedeur Sanders the Bronny James of the NFL?
Now,
what do you think?
Let me ask you why you say that. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're saying that because he's popular, he's going to run up the numbers because he's there. And that's what the same thing with Bronny James, like how his jersey is selling because he's Bronny James, not because he's a superstar player.
Yeah, and just the last night when he played, I mean, they were just cheering him at the free throw. He's on the road. You know what I'm saying? They're going nuts for him. So, it is a circus, but this is a business. They are a circus.
It's entertainment. It's entertainment.
So, so that's what's up.
Yeah.
You got something to say about that infamous El Poo? I wish Walk was here to talk about that. He'd be destroying him now, but
Yeah, too, because I really don't have too much to say about it, but I will say this. Didn't Shedeur Sanders have like 10 interceptions?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think Bronny has more pick sixes than him already. So
now Walk is in the comments. So if you want to say something, we might put it up. Because I know he's mad that we didn't put up his last comment. I know he's mad we didn't put it up.
You know what? Block Walk.
If you got something to say with Bronny, put it up. We might put it up.
In good news, I suppose, it's a sad
real quick, brother. Let me just say something real quick on that last topic.
Sure.
Is that first of all, it's not even close. Like, Bronny James and Shedeur Sanders is not even close. Shedeur is actually good, actually performed in college. Should have been drafted higher than what he was. And when he played this year, he wasn't like garbage, but he absolutely wasn't great, but neither are the Cleveland Browns in general in terms of offense, in general. So, he's definitely a better player than Bronny. There's no doubt about that. But in terms of, the Pro Bowl selection, the only thing that you guys didn't say is that the Pro Bowl, the Pro Bowl is not, what we grew up with, is different today, just like the All-Star game for the NBA, it's not what we grew up with. The whole dunk contest, 3-point contest, the whole format of the game, completely different, so it's, the way things are set up now, a lot of people, they don't even want to go to the Pro Bowl, you know what I'm saying, and they always had not the really best setup anyway, because it always was at the very end of the season. And then, it was always toned down, and not very competitive and just out there for fun and made to be an event. So, I think, when you consider all that Shedeur was a great choice, for the Pro Bowl, based on his popularity.
And ain't it flag football? I mean, ain't it flag football now?
Yeah, I think they're doing flag football. I don't think it's even in Hawaii anymore. You know what I mean? He's always been Hawaii. You know what I mean? So I'm not even sure where it is now. I don't watch it. I don't. I barely even watch the All-Star game. For basketball now either.
Yeah, those are circuses, and basically it's now you're just super waiting around for the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So it's always sort of like a dead week in between. But I'll be waiting for the Super Bowl. So let's see if your predictions are right, Mr. Student X. Might be.
What was his prediction again? Patriots
are going to win, and I based it all on the fact that America was ramping up to go to war, and that they were going to go ahead and finagle this, to be the climax, of some sort of attack or event, having the Patriots, win the Super Bowl and all that, you know what I mean? And so, it looks like it's setting up that way.
Same thing as the 2002.
Say that again.
Same thing as the Patriots in the Super Bowl 2002.
Okay.
And I'm telling you right now, Seahawks are going to destroy them.
They should.
That's what everybody says.
Hey, it calls as referees in these games. You know what I mean?
Hey, that's why they play the game. That's why they play the game. So let's talk about this right here. Why don't you set this up, brother, Mr. Student X? Not Student X, Mr. Flit X.
So Sonya Massey, rest in peace to Sonya Massey. We know that the officer, the deputy that killed her, was convicted, and he was sentenced. I think that was like 2 days ago. He was sentenced to 20 years. That's the maximum he could have got. And in the victim, the victim statement, while he was getting sentenced, the mother said, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." And if you remember, those was the words that Sonya Massey used or said to him, which made him say that again? Or is that a threat? And he drew the gun on her, and that's when he, ended her life. So I think it's fair that if the mother came back and said that, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." And also the father, I watched the interview with the father, spoke about it, and he was calling on the federal government to press charges so that he could do more time. So I think they're pushing to have the federal government step in, and if they could charge him with anything so that he could start serving that after he do his 20 years, because they don't want to see him come home. As do I. I don't want to see him come home either.
Yeah, this federal government ain't going to do that. What you got to say about this Student X?
Yeah, that would be a great litmus test and a great point of organizing people behind to ensure that happens and make it very public, so that, because ultimately it's going to go to Trump and this administration, because it's their, department ultimately that has to make that choice, and let's put them on the record. Let's put them on the record, you know what I mean? But keep in mind, people, we have to move, in a way to where we're not being emotional today, and we're being logical, tactical, and just understand that sometimes you have to just set the stage, you know what I mean? And then move out, at that point.
Before we do Kanye's apology, let's do this Ilhan Omar. You got the video for this? Let's put this up. This sister was basically giving a speech in Minnesota, right? And it was about the ICE.
Yep. Let's play this one first.
Democratic Congresswoman Ilhan Omar there attacked while speaking at a town hall event in Minneapolis Tuesday night. In the video, seconds after Omar...
Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment.
So they said he literally had a syringe filled with whatever, some concoction, right?
Cider, vinegar, vinegar, apple cider.
All right, so he probably, and I'm just guessing, he probably intended to stick her with it and inject it. Well, I don't know what harm it would do, but he just used it and squirted it on her, right?
Yeah, that was crazy.
It didn't look like a needle. It looked like some type of like syringe, though, if you will, but like, like how we would do ear impressions or something like that, to where, but bottom line is someone gets up and squirts anything on you, like, that's permission to open up a can of whoop ass at that point, because you don't know if it's piss, gasoline, you can get lit on fire, some type of drug or something that's going to decapacitate, so you got to get in that behind immediately, you know what I'm saying? But then she looked like she was trying to tell her people not to deal with that guy, because I know she even realized she was getting squirt, in the first place, you know what I mean? But it's like,
I saw a fist ball. She looked like she was about to get down. That's what I thought I saw.
Yeah, I don't know. I was listening to the commentary right there, but we can analyze it. But but yeah, the bottom line is that that was whack. If I would have been there, even though I'm not necessarily a fan of hers, I would have defended the sister, just based on anybody, you can't be having people getting up and doing stuff like that, because who knows what that was? You know what I'm saying? It could have been acid. You know what I mean? Who knows? So you got to deal with stuff like that, security wise.
Infamous El Poo, what you got to say about this?
If I was that security officer that grabbed him, I would have held him and said, hit him. Go ahead, get one in. Looked like she was about to, but he had pulled him away and whatever. She looked like she was about to take off. Enough respect.
Yeah, this was probably like a syringe for like basting, like barbecue type stuff, because that's usually what people use apple. But I'm just saying, I heard the term syringe, and I immediately think that's way too dangerous. I mean, that's like, even if you're grabbing them, it's dangerous because you can get stuck. My whole thing is I think like 24, where when they killed President Palmer, spoiler alert if you ain't never saw it or didn't know, whatever. But the bottom line is they just shook his hand and some chemical or whatever just like killed him. So I'm just saying, you don't know what the hell that is. I felt like she should have immediately been like, hey, we need to take you in the back, get that off you. We don't know what the heck is on you. So, that was a crazy situation. And, and this dude, they were saying that he's a plant. They were saying that it was fake. And, that's what a lot of the Republicans were saying. And, of course, a lot of the satiric people were saying, like, yeah, it looked just like how, Trump getting shot and jumping up and saying fight, fight, fight type situation. But, I'm not going to dispute either of those situations to be, whether they're true or not. But it's absolutely unacceptable. And this dude is actually the dude that did it. He's like a known Trump supporter. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up. So I don't know if this is a good time to go to the break.
La Brea Trucking, for all of your trucking needs. You need something delivered East Coast to West Coast, West Coast to East Coast, North to South, South to West. Call that brother. Y'all saw the number at the end. He'll come pick it up and deliver it, put it wherever you need it at. Call him. La Brea Trucking. You're muted. Everybody gets muted for some reason. Everybody's muted.
That's a new thing. So that's gobealive.org. Go get you some of that black honey. And if you want to get it in person, go to the Petty Vice in Venice or to the Afro City Marketplace at the Crenshaw Mall. Salute, Sister Nidra.
Turn up the dial, it's 10:30. Be back. Spin that back show, all the classics on track. From 79 to 99, we're crossing the gap. Album reviews, little known facts, hip hop intact. Saturday mornings, dive into the history. Samples and stories, old school mysteries. Early South static, Shiraz, and TV.
Okay, yes, sir. We're going to be having to spin that back today, 10:30, right after the Focus Up show. And today we're going to be talking about the late, great Nate Dogg. Yes.
Yeah, Nate Dogg. Salute.
Peace and blessings. For those of you who haven't come to 2251 Florin Road, Suite 111, and got your issue of the fiberless fava bean pie, you are missing out. These have just come out the oven and they're on their way to the shop right now. So come on through and get your issue of the world's greatest pie. The pie that literally makes you high. Peace and blessings.
Peace to our brother Camille Shabazz. If you want to get you that bean pie, make your way out to the Flora Square today. And maybe one day Student X will bring back the bean pie ice cream. One day. One day.
Was that a special?
Yeah, that was a specialty that brother made before. All right, let's get to it. Nice guy.
All right, so I actually do have the apology. You know what? I was gonna try to bring it up on the screen, but this is kind of too long to read, anyways. But the bottom line is, he took out an ad, and I believe in the Wall Street Journal. That's disrespectful. And I'm just saying, me personally, I understand that probably a PR person did it, probably whatever. I don't know. I'm just saying, I felt it was a beautiful apology. It really hit all the notes that I wanted to hear. I feel sorry for Kanye West. You know what I'm saying? I really feel like he's got like some issues. You know what I'm saying? And the whole medication thing that he's stopped taking, I think it contributed to where he went. The loss of his mother, especially under those circumstances. That's a dude who has my compassion. He is completely over the edge, but this apology definitely seems like a step in the right direction, and I'm going to give that brother a chance.
He basically said he's Dane Bramage, right?
Dane Bramage.
That's basically what he said.
But he's also said that he was lashing out and all this other stuff, and plus he was just saying that he wasn't taking the medication. Now, a lot of it has always been a function of you need to be on your medication, and he's like F the meds, and he just drifted off to a very crazy place. So now it sounds like he's getting back on him, and now that he's done it, he's got a little bit more sensitivity to what he's done and what he's doing, and he's basically walking in. He's acknowledging how basically the things that he's done is basically betrayal to Black people. So it's definitely reaching out to us, and like I said, I'm gonna give the brother a chance. We'll see what's up.
Okay.
So
what you got to say about the El Poo?
Yeah, because you didn't look very believing there, man.
I was waiting for Stu next to actually respond first. Go ahead, Stu next.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is that if that's how he feels, then hey, all power to him. Even if it's not how he feels, I don't know what the motivations are. I know me recently. As I just had studied, my behavior. If you will, it's not that I was a bad parent, but then I look at moments in my parenting that, I study and I wish I would have did different or better. And I start to look at my own mindset at the time or why I even chose, whatever methodology, that I deployed in that moment. And then start realizing that, man, I actually had, a childhood trauma driving me at times during, just my growing up, and at the same time being a parent, and then I felt like it caused me to act in ways that, that didn't represent myself well, and then or represent who I know myself to be. So I went back and apologized to my family, my children, my wife, for moments, So again, if this is how the brother feel, and he feels like he really sincerely owes, whomever he offended or felt he offended an apology, and he came genuine with it, then hey, all power to him.
That's what's up. Brother Watt, welcome to the party.
I had to get on this Kanye West. Kanye West full of shit. The only thing that he feel remorse about is losing all that money he freaking lost. He don't give a damn about Black folks now. Only people he care about is his daughter and his goddamn self. So that's what was happening. That's why he apologized to the Jews and to the Black community, because he really has no base but the Black community. He thought the alt-right was going to rock with him, how he was rolling with Nick Fuentes and all that. He really thought he had a new base. He's a sucker. That's why we haven't mentioned this sucker-ass dude for the last 2 years. And I thought it was over with. But that's why I had to come on the show behind that. And to the next. Iran was obliterated their nuclear facility. But yeah, fuck Iran and fuck Kanye West.
So what you're saying, Kanye's real issue, the whole reason why he did it really was
Jews.
So anyways, but so let's go ahead so that one person.
Hold on. I gotta say what I gotta say.
There you go.
Is KK crazy? He reminds me of the black-white supremacist on Dave Chappelle's show. To keep it going, let's go ahead and go on with the coon train. You know what I'm saying?
That man's greatest weapon.
Yeah, so let's talk about it.
Speaking of Kanye West.
Yeah, speaking about let's talk about Nicki Minaj.
At what cost? What is it costing you, Nicki Minaj, to sit there and kiss Donald Trump's behind? Talk about you're his number one fan, popping up everywhere he pop up. You just happen to pop up, looking with your opulent dressing and ready to say, you've got nothing else to say except kind words for Trump. Come on. You have nothing to say. You have nothing to add to the conversation. All you have is kind words for Trump. That's the way your brain works. All the lyrics and the music that you make, the good songs, all you could do when you stand in front of the podium is to kiss Donald Trump's ass. Come on, sister. Come on, Trinidadian, Caribbean, Native, whatever. Come on, you ain't got nothing else to say.
You just said it right there. She's Trinidadian. She's from Trinidad. She don't want to get deported, bro. That's why she bought that gold card. See, she working. See, that's why I don't listen to what celebrities say. They working in their own best interest, and they bought and paid for it. They can't be bought and paid for. Snoop, Nelly, whoever. But now she went straight to the top to get her citizenship. She got kids here. She got her husband. She's like, wait a minute, this my money base is right here. But I'm not discrediting what she's doing, whether she's sincere or not. I'm just saying they can't be bought and paid for. Lil Wayne, come on, he got let out of jail by Trump. Let's keep this all in perspective now. Y'all, I think y'all doing a little bit too much with the thumbnail talking about she cooning and stuff like that. I really honestly don't think she give a fuck either way it goes.
You think that's too much? All she does when she enters the podium, all she does is talk about how much she likes Trump. She don't say nothing on policy, nothing on shit that he's doing. She just kisses his ass.
Wait, so Cardi B, when she got up there, barely could freaking speak, talking
we ain't talking about Cardi B.
Wait, listen.
I don't give a shit about Cardi B and the Democrats either.
They one and the same, my nigga.
I agree.
So Cardi B got up there, barely could freaking speak, with her ratchet behind, and now Nicki Minaj doing it on the other level. So when Cardi B did it, that was good because she was talking about Kamala and the Democrats.
They both get clowned by me. They both get clowned. I don't got no respect for none of them.
But Cardi wasn't getting nothing out of it.
I didn't hear nothing about that though back then.
Hey, so just to give you a little bit more information, so the gold card, she didn't purchase that gold card. They gave it to her, and it's not real. It's just it's just a memento. They said it's not they didn't give her any citizenship, so she don't got nothing.
Oh, but she did donate. Let's play the video.
There's a certain person that's here who's the greatest and most successful female rapper in history, Nicki Minaj. Come on, and and Nicki makes a lot of cash. Not as much as Michael Dell, not quite, not as much, but that's okay. But Nicki makes a lot of money, and she's generously stepping up. She's investing hundreds of thousands of dollars in Trump accounts to support the children, and really.
Say about that.
Yeah, she bought
what he said.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah, the White House. I'm saying the White House list gave a press statement saying that because she actually said I didn't pay for this card. That's what Nicki said, and they did a press release. They said, "Oh, it's just like a memento. We just gave it to her as like a it's like something to have. But it's not legit. It's not a real thing. So she doesn't have her citizenship. Even all the stuff that she's done, she's not gotten it. So they can still dangle that on her and get her to say what she want to say.
I mean, she's been a permanent resident for 20 years. But this definitely looks to be transactional in some type of way. She came out the blue, and then she's heavily promoting Trump. And so then why? What happened? What provoked this? And so we may never know, but maybe it will come up eventually. But I can't explain it.
Mr. Walk.
I feel like Floyd did though, but on both sides, it's whack either way you look at it.
Mr. Walk, is there anything that she can stand on aside from kissing Trump's behind? When she get an opportunity to stand in front of the mic, in front of the world, is there anything else she could talk about aside how wonderful and her being a #1 fan of Trump?
Floyd, she might actually feel that way. You ever thought of that, nigga? You ever thought of that? Maybe, perhaps, she actually feel like that.
Well, nothing else is important to her
than Obama did in motherfucking 8 years, bro. It's
so
only been 1 year.
So nothing else is important to her. Nothing else going on. She ain't got shit to say about Minnesota. Ain't got shit to say about whatever else going on in the world. Whatever Trump doing, she ain't got shit to say about
She
it.
had shit to
All
say
she gotta
about
do is say,
Nigeria. You remember that? That was a
I'm
dope.
his number one fan.
Good point, Walt. She absolutely said that about what happened in Nigeria, and that was really the big reason why, and then just the whole thing with Don Lemon, was basically about it was a political stance. So there was something
going inside the church.
I think you guys are off base in saying that these celebrities can't go up there and basically speak for a politician that they agree with on political points. If you want to say that you're just a token, that's one thing. That's a completely different argument. But I'm just saying that, with her, I mean, she's digging into it. I mean, she's basically everybody kind of attacked her. So she's just like, well, now this is gonna make me want to do it more. So she's just gonna turn it up. I mean, we'll see how it works from a business-wise, because again, you're gonna isolate a lot of your market. So we'll see how it plays out with her. Because these are the same people that you're siding with. They were talking about how terrible your music is. Melania Trump is still the same person that you were basically talking about how dumb and how you were putting her down. So now you guys are just sitting there and smiling and make good, but it's just we'll see how this plays out. We'll see how it plays out.
I wonder if she went
the greatest female rapper of all time.
I wonder if she went and watched that stupid ass movie, Melania. Nicki Minaj is one of the 7 people that bought the ticket.
She did watch it because she went to the premiere. So,
the black carpet. She didn't have a red carpet, no press. Only one media was allowed to be there because they knew it was shit. That movie shit.
Her husband and her brother, they got their own files going on.
Yeah.
Shit. Abby Phillips reported that on the whole country of Australia, only 7 people bought tickets to that goddamn movie.
Wait. El Pooh just mentioned something. See? That goes more along with what I'm talking about. She really don't give a damn. Her brother going through some major shit. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she's trying to get a preemptive pardon. Like, for real, her brother about looking at some major time, I think for molestation or something. Something like that.
Right? He already sent it. He in jail.
Pardon.
Hey, so what is being a sellout? I mean, if you're doing something to get something, I mean, how does that change anything? Of course, she's doing it. This is transactional, but I'm just saying, how is it not selling out? How's it? I mean, isn't selling out the whole concept of you giving me something that I really want for me to basically just do this little thing for you? You know what I'm saying?
That's why we asked the question: at what cost? She's selling
we'll see
out.
How career plays out.
You think she's selling out? You think she's selling out?
I don't think she's selling out, bro. I don't think she's selling out. And selling out for who? For the black community? She's from Trinidad. That's what Tariq and she said. Tether, they don't really resonate with the black folks.
Wow.
Hey, walking that line on that point, I mean, that is
so
real.
She put Trinidad. So only Trinidadians is buying her music, and only Trinidadians made her a fucking millionaire here in America.
Yeah. It has nothing to do with who she is as an individual, brother.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of Nicki Minaj. But
she took a black, I guess it's a FBA culture. She heisted, made a bunch of millions, and now look at her working with Trump and against the enemy of FBA. Ain't got shit to say about black people, nothing to defend black people. She's like Anton Daniels, I'm a Christian first.
Hey, shame on black folks for keep falling for this shit. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. You know what I mean? You know, if I pick, wisely. You know what I mean? Straight up.
So we talked about that. Let's talk about this whole Don Lemon situation because it's somewhat connected. So, that brother got arrested. Now, again, they went to the judge. I think they went to 2 judges for the judges to sign off on the arrest. And all the judges were like, this is BS. We're not doing it. And they arrested him anyways. You know what I'm saying? They arrested him for whatever they accused him of. And he basically said, I just went there as a journalist. I wasn't protesting. I wasn't doing that. And my thing is that if you're just an observer, sounds, what about the whole January 16th? You guys were basically saying that only some people were violent, the other people were just observers. I'm just saying that they sure do pick and choose, how they want to apply this concept of him being a domestic terrorist by just being a journalist. And again, I 100% agree. Y'all should not be disrupting no church service. That's not where you do your protest. But at the end of the day, again, he's just a journalist. So that was BS.
He wasn't one of the protesters.
A journalist for who?
Doing his job.
Wait.
Huh?
A job for who? Who do he work for?
The Don Lemon Incorporated.
Nobody. He don't work for CNN no more. That'll be like me showing up like I'm a journalist.
He got his own TV or YouTube show.
Who do we work for here on the Focus Up Network? We work for Focus Up.
The Focus Up Network.
Yeah, we don't need to be worried about whatever. It's what it is.
He came there disrupting shit. He came there disrupting shit and he got fucking arrested. That's it.
He didn't disrupt nothing. He only covered it. That's like saying he's one of the robbers if he sitting there filming people robbing the store. He just filmed it.
Okay, why did he get arrested then?
Because Trump wanted him arrested. That's why.
Exactly.
Oh, so Trump knew. So Trump was like, "Oh yeah, Don Lemon there, arrest him. Come on,
Trump,
bro.
Trump, come on, DOJ. Bro. He probably, if we go to his Twitter or his Truth Social, he probably wrote it in there. Hey, Bondi, go arrest Don Lemon.
Exactly. He did do that. He did do that. And he basically just follows. She's a good soldier for for whatever he's gonna say. And she's gonna take the blame. She's gonna take the fall because she don't got his absolute defenses. But then he'll use it.
I was looking at this today where they were saying what he did do was obstruction, and it's called like not face something, but it's
face.
Huh?
FACE, face.
Right, face. That's and plenty of journalists have been arrested for such acts like that. It's a difference between doing your job and being a journalist than just coming through trying to tear shit up and fuck shit up. That's what he was doing.
Hey, I read somewhere that Don Lemon said he's the Tupac of the gays. I did. I read that for real. You believe me, Walt?
I believe he got arrested for smuggling salami.
Wow.
The thing that was really going on here is that a lot of us are missing is that if you don't understand the premise that I always promote on this show, which is the government that we have in America is not for the American people, is actually run by Zionists and neocons that are not looking out for the interests of American people, but for their own pocketbook. Once you have that understanding, then you understand that this is the Jews out of the Zionist toolbook. You know what I mean? And that is you actually kill the journalists. If you look at what's going on inside Palestine, in particular, they don't arrest the journalists; they just simply kill them. So in this case, we are America. We do have some rules here, So right now, if you're covering or bringing awareness to, anything that goes against this Zionist position and the neocon position in America, then tactics are being used against you that they're not fair. But understand who you're dealing with. You're dealing with killers, liars and deceivers, So
hey, they kill journalists in Saudi Arabia too, right?
Yeah, they kill journalists all type of places. All type of places.
Russia,
exactly. that don't like and they're authoritarian and they don't like what people are saying, then they suppress that. There's different ways that they do it. And we're starting to realize here more and more that that's what we live under. Right now.
So it sounds like to me what you're saying that he's just arresting them now because that's all he could do now. But as with most things, they're going to escalate. Eventually, a journalist is going to get killed for reporting the truth.
Well, sure. When things start to escalate right now first of all, shame on Don for not just keeping that one thou wow, and that you are part of the protest. This was pre-orchestrated. You were planning, it was planned for you to be there to document it. So just own it, but you're not there, causing any havoc. You are documenting it. To you guys' points earlier that was made is that us opening up our YouTube, our social media, we actually become, journalists at that point. You're a journalist. Now, what you use your platform for, that's up to you. You know what I mean? But you are a journalist. You may not be a professional journalist, but, you have that option, and that right, to be that. You see what I'm saying? But, like I said, Don, he was a part of that, just own it, you know what I mean? But does he deserve to get arrested and all this other type of stuff? Of course not.
Focus Up Network, part of the new black media.
Yeah, the strategy was off, though. Remember, if our brother was there, I always been saying is that from a strategy standpoint, man, there's too many mistakes being made, on positions I actually support. You know what I mean? Which is, I don't like what ICE is doing. I don't like what's taking place in Palestine and Israel. Yet, mainly it's been more people on the left that has protested that, and the tactics, you're not getting the results ultimately that you want. I think you're on the right path, but there needs to be a change of strategy. And maybe we'll discuss that, future shows.
Oh, there's going to be a change when the midterms drop, but we'll see how much of a change it's going to be. So let's go. Let's talk about Trump is suing the IRS and the Treasury for $10 billion. All of this stuff just shows you that this is all a hustle. This is all a cash grab. This dude has made money in the White House. You know what I'm saying? Just off of policy, off of this, off of that. I'm just saying that this dude, he couldn't be more obvious about what he really is, and yet for some reason, some people are just staying in denial about it. This dude is talking about, I'm going to not take my salary. I'm going to serve the people of the United States of America. You don't even pay me that $400,000, but I'm going to sue these mother effers for $10 billion. How do you think that's going to affect the deficit? I'm saying, and it's like, who's going to defend it? His people. So they're not going to defend it. It's going to be a settlement. He's going to get this money. It's going to be just like that whole CBS thing. He's basically using his dynamics, using his power to just these are cash grabs. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know what else to say about this brother. What you got to say about this student?
$10 billion. Now go ahead. It's just boggling me. What do you got to say about a student that's $10 billion?
Yeah, I mean, hell, I wish I could sue these motherfuckers for $10 million too. You know what I mean? Because I feel like they misrepresented me and taking what they don't deserve. You know what I mean? And from the American people, so I would be doing on behalf of the American people too. You know what I'm saying? So this is a case of where my enemy is my friend. You know what I'm saying? So look, go have at it. This is a fight I don't even got a dog in. Do what you got to do. I don't like either of them.
Damn.
Yeah, it's bullshit. But I mean, again, he and what he's saying is that they leaked his taxes, even though like presidents always gave out that information. He just basically held it out for the whole time, and somehow it got out. So he's like 10 billion, but that's like his go-to number. He's suing the BBC for 10 million because whatever you report, I don't like your reporting. I mean, he's a litigious guy. He doesn't win a whole lot. But,
y'all should have learned from. I mean, we tried to teach you on Friday. I'm suing for $100,000, but we can settle court right now. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So sometimes that's what you got to do. You know what I mean? Because the thing is that a lot of times people they know they're wrong, but then they bank on you not calling them out on it. You know what I'm saying? And so when you call them out on it, then there's going to be some exchange. Now it's just going to question. It's going to be on the higher end or on the lower end. You know what I'm saying? And so Trump, he's going to see what sticks. Throw everything against the wall, see what sticks, try to get some of that money back. You know what I mean? That they did on them for that lawfare.
No, what that brother's trying to do is basically he's telling you who's really trying to benefit from those tariffs. All those tariff savings is basically going to the Trump fund. So,
I will say this too: y'all use brother way too loosely on this show. You know what I mean? And I don't have no right to any of that.
It's levels of brother.
Brother is more intimate to me. Like that brother up there, all y'all brothers right here, y'all my brothers. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all brothers. Even though
I don't like to vilify.
Our fates are tied into one another.
I don't like to vilify other human beings. I always like to find some commonality with human beings because at the end of the day, there is that. And again, and it's not just human beings with living things on this planet. I'm a religious person, and I'm a person that believes that we have a responsibility to not just every single human being on this planet, but every living thing on this planet. We share this planet, and it belongs to all of us. So therefore, you're always going to hear the word brother and sister from me, because again, I'm in the ally business, not the adversary business.
So I agree with your position outside of the fact that how I use the term is still going to be for me, those more intimately connected with, my struggle, and my reality, but I absolutely feel a connection to everyone and want nothing but the best for people unless you're wicked, and I pray for your death.
You want to address Mr. Walt, student X? He says you call the Indian senator your sister.
Yeah, the Indian, which one?
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Like Dr. Shiva, who I voted for president, I call him brother too. And he Indian, So yeah, I got my attorney I work with right now. She's an Indian. That's my sister, man. She got my back, straight up.
Yeah, he's talking about people that are basically aligning with you more, that have a closer alignment.
It's more intimate. It's more intimate. You know what I mean?
And what I'm doing, what I'm doing by throwing out that label is I'm reaching for that intimacy with other people. That's my olive leaf. So
let me challenge you, student X. Do you have any white brothers and sisters?
Absolutely. You better believe. You better believe it, bro. You know what I mean? Straight up.
Cool.
So that's why Good was my sister, because she's a white sister that shared my political position, at least as far as that ICE situation. So that's what's up.
Yeah, I'm not mad.
That's a pretty good reason.
That's what's up. So like, share, subscribe. Thank you for tuning in. Peace out.
We out.